Yo, what's going on, everybody? With the brand new video for you guys today. We said that all way too fast. I hope you're all having a good day. Today, I got a reaction video for you guys. I haven't done a reaction in a while. Ran into a video by Alpha Rod. For those who know me, you know that I love to give as much credit as possible to the original creator. Their link on your reaction will always be the first link in the description box below. So go to that link, watch the original video, leave a like, and so show some support to the original creator of the video. This video is about the first Descendant, everything wrong with the first Descendant. Working on our own review, should be out maybe in a week or two. I'm still brainstorming, but you know, let's just check this out. It's inside my sound settings. Let's go.
I'm not gonna sugarcoat it at all. The first Descendant is by no means a perfect game.
That's
but
obvious.
I do think it can become
As I
a
said,
great game. And with the recent
that.
patch notes, the devs have said they are promising to listen and are willing to change systems the players find tedious or generally not fun. This was reflected by the recent changes to encrypted vaults and how the unique material, which was previously locked behind them, can now be acquired from just farming missions in that area. But with that being said, I think now is the perfect time to address everything wrong with the game. And no, I'm not just going to complain. Whenever I say something is wrong, tedious, or outright stupid, I believe there is plenty of room for improvement. And with the game being so fresh, we need to address these things now to stop the "oh, it's always been like this" argument. And also for everything wrong, I will provide what I believe to be an appropriate solution, but I would love to hear how you feel in the comments below.
So what I think he's basically trying to say with this disclaimer, it's basically a disclaimer. I do this in my videos all the time where I try to give like a background on why I'm going to say what I'm going to say. What, you know, should give you the as a viewer reason to, you know, believe in what I'm going to say. One of the best things I heard anyone say on the internet, you know, silly as to say, I think it was Pingu, the retired R6 goat. Someone commented in his Twitch stream saying R6 is bad, and Pingu said, "I don't care what your opinion is. I care about the reasons." And the thing too that we're trying to say is, your opinion doesn't mean anything. What matters is why your opinion is what it is. So what he's trying to say in this video, Alpha Rod, he's trying to give you a reason to why his opinion is going to be what it is. He's not telling you what his opinion is. He's trying to give you a reason to as to why I'm saying what I'm going to say, and this is why you should take what I'm saying more serious than just seeing it as an opinion. A lot of times it comes to video games, especially people, you know, judge them critically. They don't give you a reason for why. They just say the game's bad, the game's dead, the game's stupid, the game's this, the game's that. But don't give you reasons as to why you think the game is what you're saying it is.
So with that out the way, let's start with the blatantly obvious. AFK players and leeching. If you've never played the game, you may be asking, why are people going AFK in a looter shooter? Well, believe it or not, you don't actually have to shoot to get the loot. You can literally hunker down in a corner of the map and let your teammates do all the hard work without losing any of the rewards or getting any negative consequences. And this has become such a widespread issue. The entirety of Reddit collectively hates everybody who does this. Like, it's a known thing. People just queue in and go AFK because what are you gonna do?
I've had moments like that where I would do the wave-based modes and people would just stand around. It's definitely an issue. One is it goes into another issue that I also know about to one of my friends. It was like, you can literally, because you can join missions in progress, so you can literally join someone's mission and it'd be like the last second of the mission and you'll get rewarded as if you took part in the entire agreement. It counts as if you completed it, even though you joined in with a second left. It's like things like that. You're rewarding players, and the thing about that, imagine you're someone who's in grinding a particular mission, open world mission, to get like a Descendant drop. Like you're trying to get keys so you can create Freyna or whoever, and you've been doing it. This is your 15th run, because this game's drop rates are very, very bad. This is your 15th run, and you know you still didn't get it. But then someone who literally just joined at the end, they did get it. That can be so annoying. Like, this is their first time even trying. They just got thrown in at the tail end of it. Their character spawned in and then the mission ended, and they got the drop for the frame that Descendant.
You can't kick them, you can't remove them, you can't do anything. You just gotta either leave or accept it. Now, granted, if somebody happens to come along and join my mission just as I'm finishing, getting all the rewards, I'm fine with that. But if somebody takes the time to purposely queue up to a defense or infiltration mission, only to go immediately AFK and get no punishment, then we have a problem. It is easy to blame these people for being lazy, but I think it's valid to ask, why are they going AFK?
It's very, very small.
And it's honestly pretty simple. It's just not fun. It's not fun repeating the exact same defense mission 20 times over because it's the most efficient way to level. Not only
I said it in my video about the drop rates that when it's okay when it's like 4 or 5 times to do something multiple times, but when you're on your 20th attempt of doing the exact same mission for one drop, that's a game fail. That's a horrible thing that exists in the game. That's not very good at all, and you can lose players that way. Not fun. They're not experiencing the rest of what the game has to offer via that.
The enemies aren't hard, the mission isn't interesting, and the rewards other than the XP are just underwhelming. So what needs to be done? Well, for missions in open world play, I don't think anything needs to happen because they're all pretty trivial, and I'll see what you guys say, but for anything you have to queue up for, there needs to be either a punishment or an incentive to not be AFK. People are always quick to say, give us a vote kick feature, but that can always be used maliciously by the wrong people.
Yeah, that can get toxic. So, like, imagine, let's say you're playing the game and you got like a Blair, a Freyna, a Sharon, and then there's a Bunny, and the Blair, Sharon, and Freyna are all friends, and the Bunnies are random, and they might feel like, I can't stand this Bunny. Bunnies freaking run around too freaking much, and they tend to ignore all the enemies and go straight to like the next part of the mission that forces freaking teleports. Just vote to kick the freaking Bunny. You'll get people who do that, even if that Bunny who joined is that kind of Bunny. They might not be that kind of person who just sprints ahead, ignore all the enemies, but because they're Bunny, they're getting vote kicked because you don't play with Bunny. So you can have these toxic situations or scenarios where someone will use vote to kick for no reason other than they want their lobby to stay just the friends or whatever.
What I believe we need is either a flat XP reduction for people who are deemed not helpful, or maybe some form of like reputation system that would allow people to report these people who aren't being useful, and if found true, give them like a penalty. Or maybe even just give like a bonus reward to people who reach a threshold in the mission for activity. It's way above my pay grade to figure out how these things can be done, but the whole system is just annoying right now. It needs some changes, and I'm sure some of you are guilty of it. Myself included, I've gone AFK once or twice here, but like, it needs some changes. Now onto the elephant in the room. Microtransactions, but not just any regular ones, but severely aggressive ones. Now I understand as a free game, microtransactions are a guaranteed, but coming from someone who has never played Warframe before, and seeing a tab literally called convenience, blew my mind. You're literally paying to play the game less. Is that not showing there is an inherent flaw in the gameplay loop? Not only can you literally buy pretty much any item with real money, like hey man, you want to buy some mods? Maybe some extra space on your gun? Yeah? Or, I mean, if you really want to, you can buy the Descendants and skip the extremely tedious and luck-based system surrounding them. But be careful, because if you want to buy one, I'm just letting you know here, all the currency bundles are just short of what you need, so you're going to be swiping twice for those ones. Oh, and I forgot to say, you can't earn the premium currency anywhere in-game, like nada, nowhere.
That's a big thing when it comes to like a free-to-play game. A lot of free-to-play games, when it comes to to like obtain the paid currency, there's free ways to obtain the in-game currency. Even gacha games are inherently greedy, but you can grind your ass off to get enough of one material to transfer that material in to get wishes and Genshin or whatever the other ones are called for the other gacha games. In Warframe, It's called platinum. That's what the in-game currency is called. You can make plat in Warframe without ever spending a single dime via the fact that the game has a trade market. So let's say you're grinding your ass off to try to get a frame in Warframe or a gun in Warframe, and you get a frame that you don't want. You can go to the trade market and sell that frame's parts for plat with other players. So you basically just like there's an economy that exists in the game. So Warframe isn't relying on actual real money to generate anything. Honestly, when it comes to people spending money in Warframe or any free to play game, it's usually because they want to, not because they have to. And people are voluntarily going out there and buying plats instead of using trade market because they want to, either just shortcuts or they just want to have the frame without doing a grind, whatever the reason. But the option is there. I always say this when it comes to video games. Options are important. It's important to give the player the option to do something versus just saying, no, you can only obtain this currency by spending real money.
It's not possible. And even with all of this, I am a free-to-play player. I have spent virtually no money on the game other than this fucking dinosaur skin because I thought it looked cool and it was like reasonably priced. But it gets even worse than that. You see how it's just like a one-time account purchase? Yeah, that's not right. That's a one-time per character purchase, because if you buy it, you don't buy it for your account. You buy it for your Descendant.
Yeah, to buy for your Descendant if you want to wear it on your Descendant.
Again for every other character. Why? And then to make it even worse, if you want to paint your items a certain color, it's not like Destiny. You don't get the shader once and have it forever. The paints are a one-time use. And granted, they don't cost a lot, but like, why is it a one-time use per paint? That makes no sense.
Nexon,
okay,
that's why.
Those are some pretty major problems, and I do have a few big ones after this as well, but for now, I'm going to rapid fire some dumb features about the game that exist for no apparent reason. Firstly, it is called a looter shooter, but sometimes there is too much loot. Like, seriously, I spend more time in the menu trying to clear up useless items than actually playing the game.
Same.
So, solution. Let's add a auto dismantle option. There is already a literal space for it directly in the recycling setting. I do not need all these random guns and reactors filling up my backpack for like the 60th time. Next,
when you do that, it should have like a setting to where you can set it to where like what is going to, because you don't want to like have weapons that you actually care about get deleted. So you could have it to where it won't dismantle any like legendaries. But I want to say like have the option to exist where there's let's say the guns right now are like 80. So you have 80 guns. You don't want any 85s to get dismantled. So you set the setting to dismantle anything below. I think that'd be a good way to go about it.
Why does every item in the game, except guns, drop in insane quantities in hard mode? There's literally a list showing where every item will drop, except for guns. We have to rely on mission rewards and random drops to farm the components from guns. And these components are really important, as you use them to craft an item, which allows you to re-roll your gun's modifiers, which is also a really important feature. And while I'm talking about crafting, why can you only craft one item at a time?
Yeah, that's so dumb.
Why can't I craft the same item multiple times? This makes no sense. Also, why can't you dismantle items in your Lost and Found, and why can't you favorite your equipped items? There is no reason why. You literally need to unequip them just to favorite them, to re-equip them again. And why is there a maximum amount of items you can favorite? It's literally just a number. Surely it can go higher than 100. Also, why can't you change your name? Changing my name on Steam doesn't even help. I'm permanently stuck as Mac and Cheese. Do you even know how embarrassing this is? Let me change my name. Okay, done there. Now, the last two sections I'm going to cover. The first one is going to be on Encrypted Vaults. It's kind of like a summary of farming as a whole, but I think it's worthwhile going into because it kind of sucks. And the final one I'm going to end off with Descendants. The whole farming Descendants thing, or Ultimate Weapons for that fact, farming the codes, the blueprints, the DNA, everything. It's. What the fuck? Why is it so much? I'm going to do that in the last section, so brief overview. Now let's get into encrypted vaults first. Alrighty, it's time for the best system in the entire game, which everybody loves wholeheartedly. Encrypted vaults. I think there's nothing more the community hates, honestly. Like, it's just universal at this point. And yes, while the devs did change how they work, the most efficient way to still acquire the materials is from these vaults. But the system behind them hasn't changed. If you fail, you still lose your key. And if you want a better chance to unlock them, you still need to farm either Enzo or Kyle, which in itself is a coin flip of how long it's going to take you. And don't even get me started on how tedious it is to actually get the keys. There is no actual way to farm them. They're mostly just like random drops as well. So deleting keys on failure just makes no sense. It's a PvE game. It's meant to be fun. There is an incredibly simple two-part solution to this. Firstly, just don't delete the keys on failure. Let people have another go. And secondly, to give Enzo and Kyle some form of like new positive incentive, just let them have a 40% chance to not consume a key on use, as well as the easier time opening vaults. The game shouldn't punish you for not farming a Descendant, because right now, farming Descendants suck, and I'm going to get into that later, because the whole system is just backwards, honestly. But the whole idea of punishing players for not farming a Descendant is just kind of weird, honestly. The entire vault system should be not frustrating, but fun. Like, oh, I got a key, let's go open my vault now. So removing the deletion, just do that no matter what. But I think, yeah, adding some new value to Enzo and Kyle could give you a moment of like, oh, I saved a key, that's awesome. But it's not required.
I don't know if he's going to mention it, but one of the things that I hate about these stupid little things is the way you try to find them is you basically are using your scan button like repeatedly to try to listen to a very faint pinging sound around the map. You're basically like on the scavenger hunt for these things to try to see find where they're at. You're trying to hear a particular sound. So if there's gunshots going off or explosions going off in the game because people are doing missions, it's even harder to hear. So it's just a dumb way to try to like define.
It's just a quality of life, fun little extra. I don't think the actual vault system is going anywhere, so having another look should happen. Like, soon. Now onto the last, but very much not least, section. Descendants. The game is built around them, except when you look at actually trying to farm one, you realize you need both a PhD in gaming to understand the menus alone, and you also need a week off from work to even be able to dedicate the time required to farm the various components,
which have 2 days to get one part for sure.
Insanely tedious drop rates and methods to acquire them. Now, I'm not saying they make them this tedious, you know, to incentivize you to use the real money system, but that's kind of the vibe I'm getting on.
I said this my video about the drop rates. The kind of person that I am not the kind of person who believes in FOMO or, you know, just giving up and spending the money. If your game is designed in a way to where, you know, you want to make grinding so tedious the way it is in Descendant in order to force people to want to go spend real money, that's not me. I will just stop playing your game. If your drop rates are so awful to where, you know, I give up on it. The give up is not going to be, all right, I'm just going to spend some real cash to freaking get the character. I'm just going to stop playing the game. It's that simple. You know, part of why I stopped playing Genshin is because I kept grinding my ass off for the resources to get wishes, and I just never can get the character who I wanted. I stopped playing. First of all, I thought the game was bad anyway. You know, I think the gameplay sucks and story sucks, but, you know, I could ignore the story and gameplay if I was able to play as a character who I actually freaking like. But I just stopped playing the game. I didn't spend money. The same thing as a Descendant. If it takes too long for me to freaking grind to get what I want, I'll just stop playing the game. is literally that simple. I play games for the fun of it, not for it to be a job. And that's it. I think it was the Blanco Kage who talked about this. He said like, why he doesn't play games like Warframe and Descendant. He doesn't want to play games where everything you do is a task. You're doing daily tasks. You're not playing the game. You're just doing tasks. You're doing chores. That's what the first Descendant is. First Descendant, a lot of the gameplay of this game is you just doing chores. You're not experiencing the game's systems. You're not experiencing the game's world. You're not experiencing the game's story. You're experiencing the game's chores because you're spending less time doing the story, less time, engaging in community related things, and more time just doing the exact same mission over and over again because you want to get that one drop of Volpe. And if you don't get that one drop of Volpe and use up all the freaking amphibious material and amorphous material, now you got to go do another mission to grind for more of those to come back to the same mission to grind that with the hope of getting the drop for Volpe. So it's like you're just doing tasks and chores more so than playing a video game, and it's designed that way to make you come to this cash out to spend real money. And it's like the better bet, play something else.
Off it. I would have presumed coming in that the core foundation the game is built on, aka
And this, by the way, this skin, I think their conversion, if most games, the conversion is 100 equals $1. So that conversion is correct for this game. So I don't go to this game's cash out because I don't care. That means this skin costs $30. You're spending $30 to look at some chick's ass. That's it. That's the draw. This is the most popular skin in the game, by the way, for those who play for Descendant. Is a bodysuit that has her ass cheeks out, and it shows that much cleavage. You're spending $30 to just look at someone's ass cheeks. That is the most degen loser gets no girls thing to do. To spend $30 or $50 for a skin to where the draw to the skin is someone's ass cheeks. Even go look at some real ass. Real ass, you can look at real ass for free because porn's a thing. Well, corn for monetization. You two have to get pissed off. I don't make money from this anyways, but still, you can go see ass for free. Real ass, not video game ass. You can get a girl and see ass every single day if you want to. But hey, let's spend 30 or 50 bucks to just look at some video game ass.
Like the Descendants would be like interesting or like fun to unlock, or have like crazy backstories with them. They have nothing. It's so like soulless. Like let's take a look at Glay, a Descendant I'm trying to unlock, for example.
I want Glay too.
And FYI, this is a lot, so try and stay with me now. I start by going to this lady, then open a menu to search for the Descendant I want to find. Next, I open their crafting recipe and find one of their parts I need. Next, I go into the parts required to craft that part. Then I figure out where to find one of those items, so it shows me here I have 4 places. But let me do this one for example. So this shows me that amorphous material 99 obtained from this mission has a chance of dropping it, but it's not just that simple, because in order to get pattern 99, I have to do the stealth part of the mission, which requires Sharon, but I don't have Sharon, so either I need to go farm Sharon, or someone else needs to carry me through it. But even then, it's only a 25% chance. And then when I finally get the pattern, I need to figure out where I can open it. And then when I open, it's just... oh, it's so much information. I don't know how any regular or normal player can even fathom doing this. Just seems like the most unnecessarily complicated and convoluted, tedious, time.
It's like I said, you're doing so much extra stuff to play the games where you're not even playing the game. The game's playing you. Like you're doing work. If you're playing a game like First Descendant, you're doing a job. You're working. The game's for free because it doesn't pay you. You pay it. The game is taking your time away to have you do all this extra stuff, but you're not playing the game. Because if you're not progressing the story or doing dungeons, then you're not playing the game. So if you're repeating the same thing over and over again, you're not playing the game. You're doing a chore. You're doing work. It's just so much. It's so much stuff to do just so you can do one thing. You're doing a bunch of stuff to do one thing.
Consuming process ever. At this point, I'll just spend 16 bucks. Please just save me from this. And there's certainly a lot more I've missed, which I encourage you to express in the comments below, but
So looking at that cash shop,
I'm
actually, again, I don't go to the cash shop. It's actually more. So it costs 3,000 to get the bunny suit, which is, you know, in comparison, you would need to buy this. I don't know what the convert, because this is Zealand, I'm guessing. I never seen it in DZ. So let's just, I want to look it up. I want to look up a conversion. So I can actually see what the actual price is. All right, so 109.96 New Zealand is 66.79 USD. So you would have to spend the price of damn near a brand new video game to get Bunny. Not to get Bunny, but to get Bunny skin. So to get Bunny skin, you're essentially paying the price of a full game. Not $30, $70, damn near. Just so you can get, just so you look at a character's ass cheeks. And I seen people who like early game already had that skin, and if you had an early game, there's no way you got it because the drop rate for it, each part's like 3% drop rate. So people are buying that skin. And Nexon is just like, yeah, give me all the money. Nexon's ringing it in.
And there's certainly a lot more I've missed, which I encourage you to express in the comments below, but I am now extremely tired from thinking about all this, and I don't want to become a complete rage monster, so I'll leave it here. The game has a long way to go. We've got some good progress so far, and good promises from the dev team, and I hope it continues, but only time will tell. Also, the story kinda sucks ass, but whatever, that's like a side note anyway. As always, I hope you learned something, enjoyed the video. The absolute best way to support me and the channel is just by leaving a like, sharing with anyone if you want, and if you think I earned it, just subscribe. You can always unsubscribe later. It would mean the world to me.
All right, so I feel like the last thing he mentioned was like the story sucks. This game wasn't designed to have a good story, like at all. They didn't design this game to have a coherent story or a good story. This game was designed for money. The thought process behind this is Nexon. Nexon's very greedy. This game's designed to get you to spend cash while being free to play. It entices you to spend money because you feel like you didn't do anything for the entry. Free to play basically just means no entry. But in order for you to, because of how the psychology works, again, remember, game studios hire psychologists to figure out ways to get the player to spend money. These games are designed to be free to play because you feel like mentally, hey, I didn't spend money in this game. It's okay to spend $5 here, $5 there. Now all stacks up to being more to what you actually did if this game was paid. You know, and though I play this game and though I enjoy it enough to keep playing it, that's only, like I said this before in someone else's live stream, I was like, me playing first Descendant is flavor of the month. The second something else comes out that I feel like is a better game, probably abandon this game. It's not good enough. The gunplay is solid, the characters are interesting and cool enough, but the story sucks. I'm a big story guy. Story sucks. Most of the time when I see cutscenes, they crash. Some cutscenes that when they don't crash are actually interesting, but the story sucks. So, you know, there's things here with the first thing that was like there's potential for this game to have a decent universe that interests you. But the game developers have to actually make the story good for you to get into it. Understand, Destiny's story was trash until Taken King. So there's potential for the story to get good. It's just gonna take time, and from the developers actually wanting to make the story good. But anyways, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Leave any thoughts in the comments below. As always, the link to the original video is below in the description box. Leave a like on his video. Leave a like on my video. Likes and comments are the best ways for the algorithms to acknowledge that you want our channels to grow. So if you want me to grow, leave a like, leave a comment. If you want him to grow, leave a like, leave a comment. Catch you guys in the next video. Be your boy, Mr. Art.